Look at a map of Asia, and your eyes are drawn south. There's a massive landmass jutting into the ocean, distinctly separate from the continent. India spans 8 to 37 degrees north latitude and 68 to 97 degrees east. The Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 degrees north slices this box into tropical and subtropical zones. With a 15,200-kilometer land border and 7,500-kilometer coastline, it's the seventh largest country. A single border of 3.3 million square kilometers holds a spectrum of extreme environments, from polar ice to tropical coastlines, all functioning as a single unit. To the far north, we find the Himalayas. This towering mountain range acts as a literal wall. It blocks freezing winds from Central Asia from sweeping down into the subcontinent, dictating the climate for hundreds of millions of people. These peaks are permanently covered in snow and ice. Up here, glaciers like the Gangotri slowly melt, feeding water into the steep, rocky valleys. This melting ice is the birthplace of massive, year-round river systems like the Ganga, which sustain millions. Living in these harsh, vertical conditions requires serious adaptation. To grow crops, local farmers carve flat steps directly into the mountainsides. This terrace farming prevents the valuable topsoil from washing away and catches the mountain rain. As those mountain rivers flow south, they leave the steep slopes behind and enter the northern plains. They deposit nutrient-rich alluvium along the flat land, creating one of the most fertile and densely populated farming regions on the planet. Move slightly west into Rajasthan, and the fertile plains vanish into the Thar Desert. Here, the landscape is defined by extreme heat, near-freezing winters, and shifting sand dunes. With barely 10 to 50 centimeters of rain a year, the environment forces a nomadic herding lifestyle on the people who live there. Humans, however, actively alter these extremes. By building massive infrastructure projects like the 500-kilometer Indira Gandhi Canal, they are bringing mountain water right into the barren desert, turning dry sand into workable agricultural land. South of the plains, the land rises again into the peninsular plateau. This is a rugged, ancient terrain defined by deep red and black soils. Miners extract heavy deposits of coal and iron ore here, and farmers rely on seasonal rivers that flow only when the monsoons arrive. Flanking this plateau on both sides are the narrow coastal plains. Where this flat land meets the sea, it naturally creates bustling hubs for fishing and global maritime trade, anchoring major port cities like Mumbai to the international economy. The landmass doesn't stop at the mainland coast. Far out in the Bay of Bengal lie the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and in the Arabian Sea, Lakshadweep. These isolated tropical island groups are vital strategic and ecological extensions of the country. Because of these distant islands, India's maritime boundaries stretch far out into the ocean. This creates a massive exclusive economic zone, or EEZ. It gives the country legal control over fishing, resources, and vital shipping routes far beyond its physical mainland. These physical regions define local labor, but they also set the hard external limits of India's sovereign reach, projecting national power and resource rights deep into the Indian Ocean. Those outer limits are shared with 7 land neighbors, drawn across extreme terrains. Inside, the country is divided into 28 linguistically based states. There are also 8 union territories, administered directly by the central government. These political borders are highly intentional administrative tools. They are required to actually manage the immense geographic and linguistic diversity of over 1 billion people. With 28 states, 8 union territories, and dozens of different physical terrains and languages all packed together, what do we collectively call this massive space? The earliest answers come from ancient indigenous texts. The Rig Veda referred to the northwest region as Sapta Sandhava, or the land of 7 rivers. Later, the epic Mahabharata used the term Bharatavarsha, meaning the country of the Bharatas, to describe the wider subcontinent. There was also the concept of Jambudvipa, the island of the jamun tree. We have physical evidence of this. Around 250 BCE, Emperor Ashoka used the term Jambudvipa in his stone inscriptions to describe his vast empire across the region. But there is an outside-in perspective, too. When ancient foreign invaders and traders moved in from the northwest, they hit a literal and linguistic barrier. They encountered the massive Sindhu River, known today as the Indus. That river triggered a centuries-long linguistic chain reaction. The ancient Persians adapted the word Sindhu into the geographical term Hindu or Hindustan for the land beyond the river. The Greeks, lacking an H sound, turned that into Indoi. Eventually, the Chinese translated it to Yindu, and the Latinized version gave us India. Today, that historical timeline is legally bound together. If you open the modern Constitution, the very first article recognizes both the globally adopted foreign name and the ancient indigenous heritage, stating clearly, India, that is Bharat. This dual name binds the internal Vedic heritage of Bharat with the external river-driven history of India, acknowledging that the nation's identity is built on both its own soil and its millennia of global contact.